it's the end of our week, and we feel good. What's good, everybody? Welcome into the Early Edge, your daily sports betting brand of record. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting, and it's not close. Now, yesterday, a light day, but if you tailed the early wedge, then you had a great day. Now, my man Sia Nejad, 9 straight wins on the early edge. Yeah, we have 3 X's there, but as I said, if you tailed Brandon Wu, plus 1,100 top 5, you're welcome. If you tailed Tony Finau, top 5, you're welcome. And I told you the reason I was doing that was to protect the win, and he still got the job done. It's all about the entire week, not just about one day. And by the way, Big Cheesy, I see you in the chat. You said it's great to hear Coach on PGA Tour Live. He might struggle a little bit. I just called 40 hours of golf in the last 4 days. One of these days, because your ego's getting a little big, Cheesy, we're going to put you right here on the show. See how you give a take. See how you even talk for 45 seconds. And then you'll understand there are levels to this game. Levels to this game. So with all that being said, end of our week, we bring it strong. We don't start weak on a Monday. We bring it strong. Let's bring in the stars of the show. You know it. You love them. And here we are. We're going 5. Count them. 5 wide. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, you follow him on social media. You think Big Cheesy's ego's out of control. This man's ego is completely out of control. Buckets, good morning to you.
Good morning, Coach. Welcome back. Big Cheesy would not stand a chance against me, by the way. If it's a battle of whose ego is bigger, just stand down, Cheesy. I got this.
Stand down, Cheesy. I got this. What has my career come to? Damn. Now, next. I can't believe I didn't introduce him first. Did you hear what I said? 9 straight winning tickets right here on the early edge. He is the counselor of cash. Sia Nejad. Good morning, sir.
Happy to be here, Coach. Welcome back. It's been a really good run on picks on the early edge. So good that this shirt, when I put it on before the show started, it was white. And here we are.
Oh, my man Jeff says, big money Mondays. Let's cash some tickets. That's exactly why we are here. Now, I think the man got a little haircut. I think the man got a little tight shave. He is live from parts unknown. Propstarz, good morning.
Good morning, Coach, gentlemen. I'm excited. We're fired up. It's Monday morning, and with all due respect to Big Cheesy, the word struggle is not in Coach's vocabulary. I have never seen the man struggle. That is straight blasphemous, Cheesy.
That's what I'm saying. The term dead to me is ringing in my ears. Now, he always goes last on the show, which is why he's introduced last on the show. He's been here since day freaking 1. He is the maestro, Larry Hartstein. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. I'm telling AB, the executive producer right now who schedules everything, I want to be on the show when Big Cheesy makes his debut with Coach and see if he can give out a take in 45 seconds. But seriously, how do you feel for those Boston Bruins fans? 135 points in the regular season, and they go down, they blow a 3-1 lead to the Panthers. Another epic collapse, kind of like the Patriots 17-0 season. But it's hard to feel too bad for a city that basically wins championships in every major sport. So I'm not going to cry too many tears.
That is very true. I used to live in the Northeast for a long time, and I got so tired of Boston fans. By the way, it was the biggest upset as far as wins disparity in the history of the NHL. In the history of the NHL. Now, what a shock. Buckets is too big to even hang out with us here on the show right now. Now, I mentioned to you that we killed it on the early wedge this week. Well, this coming week is a huge tournament on the PGA Tour regular season schedule. First tournament in the month of May. We call it the Wells Fargo Championship. It's back at Quail Hollow. Max Homa is your defending champion. Tomorrow, Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern time, me, the counselor, Patrick McDonald, we break it all down for you live. You want to watch it live, then don't forget this Wednesday. You guys are sick because you ask me about this all the time. Michelle, Gene, they're back for our Kentucky Derby mega preview show at 3 p.m. Eastern time Wednesday afternoon. So with all that being said, let's jump right in because today's a busy day across the world of sports. It's time to play fade or follow 2 NBA games tonight. So, Counselor, we're going to start with you. Here is what we're looking at. The Sixers and the Celtics. Celtics are favored by 10. 10 in game number 1. The total 213 and a half. There's been a lot of injuries for both teams leading into the playoffs. How are you leaning into this one?
Yeah, a lot of injuries. And this is it feels a little trappy, right? To take the Celtics as a double-digit favorite. Obviously, Joel Embiid's not going to be playing in this one. I am going to have to side with the Celtics. Certainly not something I'm willing to put an official play on, but for me, it's Boston at home here.
Okay. Maestro, what say you?
The crazy thing is that Joel Embiid has been listed as doubtful 4 or 5 times in his playoff career, and he has played all but one of those games. So we really got to wait to see his status. Of course, the line does assume that he is out. And if he is out, I would look at the over. I think the Sixers are going to shoot a lot more threes as opposed to pounding it inside, and we'll see a little bit better pace. I'm looking at the over, and the Celtics have been explosive offensively and not so great defensively.
They really, really have, and they shoot very well in the friendly confines. Proppy, how are you leaning into this game?
Yeah, it obviously hinges on the health of Joel Embiid. We're going to assume here that he's not playing. I think the point spread certainly indicates he will not suit up. That being said, I think I'm going to fade the Celtics in this matchup. 10 points is a lot. We saw the Celtics team struggle down the stretch, particularly closing games against the Hawks. I think the Sixers can hang with them for a bit. And if not, I think the Celtics will let them back into the game late potentially as well.
I encourage all of you to watch Early Edge in 5 today at 4 p.m. Eastern time. We'll have the very latest on the number, where the money is going, and if we have a play that we can lean into on that show. By the way, Big Cheesy showing how little he knows about this business in the chat. He goes, 45 seconds, that's all I get? I'll take the over on that. Then you don't belong here, Big Cheesy. You don't even know how a show works. You're exposing yourself right now. It's embarrassing. Now, game number 2. And I think we all were shocked at how the Nuggets dominated. And let me use that word again, dominated the Phoenix Suns and Kevin Durant and Devin Booker and that entire squad. They blew them out. So tonight they're laying 4.5, the total 227. Counselor, talk to me.
Yeah, we were not shocked, Coach. I'll tell you, I'll concede yesterday's leans that I had, they weren't plays, but they were leans in the NBA. They were incorrect. I was, it was just one of those things. I thought the Kings were going to win at home. I thought the Knicks were going to take care of business against the Heat. But what I have been saying about the Nuggets and the Suns in particular is that the Suns are really soft, and the Nuggets can really throw a lot at the Suns, especially with the Suns not having any sort of bench whatsoever. I really like the Nuggets here, minus 4.5.
A play that I made in game 1, and I'm going to make it as long as the books leave it at 2.5, and that is over 2.5 3-point field goals made by Jamal Murray, and that hit easily. Last night I did the one with Steph as well, over 4.5. That hit easy as well. Maestro, let me come to you. How are you leaning into game 2 here?
Well, it's so interesting that the Suns were minus 145 in the series, and now the Nuggets are minus 170 in the series. And Sia talked about it. The Suns do not have depth, and they're not good defensively. And I just think at home, the Nuggets will take care of business in game 2. But then things will definitely shift dramatically when they get to Phoenix.
It certainly will. This feels, Proppy, like it's a 7-game series. What say you?
I would agree, Coach. And I'm also going to fade the Nuggets here. I know that's somewhat of a contrarian take, considering what we saw in game 1. But I really think playing in the altitude in Denver, coming off that series, Sia mentioned the lack of depth on this Suns team. All their starters are playing 40-plus minutes. I just think it caught up to them a little bit, especially down the stretch in this game. I anticipate this game 2, is going to be a lot more competitive tonight.
And it's going to be a lot of fun, too. I love when we have doubleheaders in the second round of the playoffs. So those are our 2 matchups in the NBA. But we have a lot of Major League Baseball games today. In fact, there are 8. But before we get to that, I got to pay those pesky little bills. Let's hear from one of our sponsors.
Get breaking news.
Big news coming out of the NFL today.
Highlights and instant reaction.
The largest final round comeback in Ford championship history. We're down to the final 4.
I just want to take time to analyze greatness.
Chalk winners and losers with a guy who's already a big winner.
CBS Sports HQ. It's all sports all day long.
And we'll be all over CBS Sports HQ. By the way, this week, Wednesday and Thursday, your boy, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. All the live betting you want, getting you ready for the nighttime games as well. I'll be hosting from the friendly confines in California. Now, everybody gets to participate here. Even you, Buckets. Even you. So today I mentioned 8 games on the slate, including a doubleheader, Braves and the Mets. So here are 3 favorites that we were looking at. Blue Jays minus 155 over the Red Sox. Yankees minus 130 over Cleveland. And then the Dodgers, and we may have a play on that a little bit later, minus 160 over the Phillies. So, Sia Nejad, let's start with you. Show Buckets how it's done. Which one of these favorites are you following to cover?
Yeah, I'm actually going to go with the biggest dog here in the Phillies. I think the Phillies, listen, I think they probably should have beat the Astros last night on Sunday Night Baseball. They left a lot of men on base, and they were really hitting the ball. And because I'm not 100% sure what to expect from Gonsolin, I'm going to go with the pretty heavy dog in the Phillies at LA.
All right. Now, I don't know how to tell you this, Sia, because Buckets is getting ready to crush you right now. Ooh. This is which favorite are you following to cover today? Yeah. And you just gave me an underdog to cover today.
That's fair. I'm so accustomed to the MLB underdog segment that I've been doing in the host chair, Coach. That's totally my bad. I'm going to go with the Yankees. This was actually a play I was going to make, a first five play, but I wasn't 100% sure what to expect from Domingo Germán. I do like the Yankees, though, minus 130 in a bounce back spot because they haven't been very good, and they likely don't have Aaron Judge today.
Now you've just completely confused Buckets all the way around. He doesn't know which way we're going right now. He's like, do I do an underdog? Do I do a favorite? This is a favorite. But see, it just gave you an extra pick. Did you guys notice that? He gave you an extra pick.
That's what I do.
We may have the other side. We may have the other side, though, coming up. Buckets, which favorite? And that is the one with the minus next to their name.
Gotcha.
There you go. Which favorite are you following today?
Coach, I'm not confused because I'm always confused. So things never make sense. But I'm going to be going with that LA team at minus 160. I know that people have come to expect absolute perfection in my analysis. So let me explain why this one makes sense here. Okay. I will actually be in LA for the first time in 3 weeks here, Coach. And so my first time in Vegas, I got to back to team with the same name,
Buckets.
Coach. That's Angeles. That's not Vegas. Yankees, Coach. Yankees. Yankees.
God. You literally just gave a take on the Dodgers thinking they play in Las Vegas. That's what you just did.
I just saw the loss.
The loss? You just saw the loss?
The Las Vegas, Los Angeles.
It's LV.
That's an A.
Oh my God.
It's not an upside down V, Coach.
Oh my God. No, it is not. Are you going to be in LA or are you going to be in Vegas?
I'll be in Vegas.
You just said you're going to be in LA. You literally just said you're going to be in LA. Los Angeles is LA. All right, let's move on. Proppy, which favorite are you following?
Let's get this train back on the tracks, Coach. We are going with the Toronto Blue Jays. I just think this pitching matchup favors them. Jose Barrios going against Corey Kluber. Kluber's been struggling recently. Love the Blue Jays bats in this spot. I think they're going to hit Kluber hard. Give me the Jays.
All right, don't give me your pick away yet, Maestro, but where are you leaning here?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about one of the games later, but I think the Blue Jays with Barrios, who's really gotten it going, last three starts have been dominant. Kluber has an 8.78 ERA at home, though he did pitch one his last start. Last year, the Blue Jays went 16-3 against Boston, including that 28-5 massacre. And they're coming in hot. They did lose yesterday, but they're coming in hot.
Yes, they are. Minus 155. All right, a little bit of everything and use the information. I tell you guys that all the time. Knowledge is power. Use it for yourself. By the way, Paul, you know how to get on my good side. Coach, the crew, the best in the business. Paul, we agree. That's why we're here every single day. We don't take days off. We don't take seasons off. Now, 3 of my 4 are going to play this next one, and this is where Buckets really shines. Pick the prop. Patrick Wisdom at plus 340. Juan Soto. Plus 330. By the way, how crazy was that Padres-Giants series in Mexico? And over-under at 19.5? That was just stupid. Anthony Rizzo, plus 350. So, Buckets, let's start with you. I cannot wait to hear what comes out of your mouth this time. Who do you like here to hit a home run today?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you to Proppy for getting us back on the tracks there after my absolute train wreck of a take. And if there's one thing I could use a little bit more of right now, Coach, it's a little bit of wisdom. Give me Patrick Wisdom at plus 340 here because I obviously have no idea what the hell I'm doing anymore. So let's back some wisdom here at plus 340.
Hey, but you're entertaining, and that's what I'm here for. So we got one for wisdom, and it's always an interesting reason why, but he's hit a couple, so take it for what it's worth. All right, Proppy, I'm coming to you. Who are you picking here?
I'm going to take the $500 million man. We're not talking Ted DiBiase, Coach. We're talking Juan Soto. Love this matchup for him. Facing Luke Weaver. He's pitched 2 games, 2 starts this season, Coach. He's given up 5 home runs in those 2 starts. I think Soto goes deep today.
Deep today. All right, counselor. Yeah, I know you've got a very educated take for me. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Proppy here. I mean, the thing about Weaver is I completely agree. He's been giving up some home runs. He's been striking out some players as well. But the thing is here, he's ultimately pitching to contact. I mean, it's coming down the middle, and I think Juan Soto is going to go yard here.
All right, Juan Soto. So we have a vote for all three guys here. Now, it's time to get to our board for the day. And you know what I find funny in the chat sometimes, even from OGs that are here every single day, that you guys still haven't realized that there are so many more picks than just the early edge at SportsLine. If you're a member, you know that. But you come here and go, oh, soccer's done this for there's so many more picks than just right here at the show. I encourage you to become a member and get all the information. And don't be negative here. Everybody goes on cold streaks. That's why you're here watching, or else you would be doing it too. So stop with the negativity. We're all in this together. Now, with all that being said, we have a brand new 24/7 network at CBS that we are thrilled about. We call it Galazzo.
Absolutely magisterial here.
All right, here we go. And you're going to see my man Buckets all over Galazzo. I promise you that. 24/7 soccer all the time. All right, so that's exactly where we're going to start. So, Buckets, I know we've been joking around a lot about baseball, but let's come to your bread and your butter. What do you got today? Start us off.
Coach, we're going to be jumping into two separate plays, both taking place this afternoon, and both matches in the top leagues of Europe. And we're starting with the one EPL matchup between Leicester City and Everton. El Embarrassico, as two of the worst clubs in England right now, will battle in a must-win game for both sides here. Both of these clubs are currently sitting in the relegation zone. Everton is one of the 6 clubs in England that has never been relegated from the Premier League. Meanwhile, Leicester City won the Premier League back in 2016, just 7 years ago. And now both of these teams have just crumbled. They've fallen apart here, and this is a must-win for both sides. And when we've got desperation on the pitch like that, you know that we love goals here. BTTS sitting at -120 is fantastic value considering that Leicester City has it BTTS in 8 of their last 10 while only winning 1 match. Meanwhile, Everton have also only won 1 match. This is a game that could see 4, 5, or 6 goals, as it just doesn't matter here anymore. You either win or most likely you go home. So expect these teams to play aggressive offensive ball. It might not be pretty. You might not want to watch it, but I'm seeing goals here. Then we're going to La Liga in the matchup between Sevilla and Girona. And I know that a lot of people are new to soccer here, so I'm actually going to use a baseball analogy to explain Sevilla. For the first half of the season, Sevilla were the Chicago White Sox. They were terrible. They could not win a game. They could not score a run. They couldn't score a goal. They were hard to watch. For the second half of the season, they're the Pittsburgh Pirates. Out of nowhere, they started winning every game. They started scoring a ton of goals. They just started dominating. And that is the form they are currently in. Meanwhile, Girona has been punching above their weight class all season long, but they've become one of the highest BTTS teams in all of La Liga, and they're coming into this matchup off a 4-2 win against Real Madrid. Give me a BTTS here at -120 all day, Coach.
So I'm sitting here, Buckets, and I'm listening to this incredible information. And I, too, have started to be a soccer handicapper myself. And my numbers are a little bit different than your numbers. So as I was handicapping this morning before the show, and as everybody knows, we never talk to each other, I thought that Sevilla and Girona would not have both teams to score today. So on a Monday, it's rare. It's rare. But see, I see how you feel now, and it's a good feeling. It's exciting.
It is.
When you know that you're getting ready to challenge the one and only Buckets. So Buckets, Sevilla, Girona, 0-0, maybe 1-0, maybe 2-0. We will not see a 1 in both slots today. So, sir, with all the respect in the world, are you in or are you out?
Coach, I have never turned down from a showdown. I'm in.
It's gonna be a
Oh, I haven't taken your money in a really long time. Hey, like a great day to do it. Oh, now somebody in the chat said Sevilla money line. Mark, how do you feel about that, Buckets?
I do think Sevilla do win this matchup, Coach, but I have them winning to a scoreline of something closer to 3-2. So I'm not really worried about my BTTS here.
Robert says, Coach is handicapping soccer. Can he name more than 5 players? Are you really going to challenge me, Robert? Don't do that. Because you know when that happens that I just bring the hammer down. Don't challenge me. All right. Now, buckets, you've already cost yourself $100. But I encourage you to sit there and listen as the pros start to do it now. So, Proppy. I don't know how I feel about the shaving thing. I don't know. I'm still getting used to it. But what I do know, it does not affect the mean streets whatsoever. Talk to me.
Yeah, we're sticking in the association, Coach. We're going to Boston, taking a contrarian pick here. Jason Tatum under 28.5 points tonight. Since he has entered the NBA, the 76ers have done such a good job defending Jason Tatum. He's been held under 29 points in 9 of his last 10 matchups against the 76ers. They don't rest on their laurels either. What happened in the offseason, Coach, they go out and get PJ Tucker, one of the best defenders in the NBA, particularly in the postseason as well. And I think they signed him specifically for this matchup as well. I know there's no Joel Embiid, but I do know the Sixers are going to focus their defensive assignment at slowing down Jason Tatum. Boston also has a lot of other scoring options. Tatum is capable of scoring 30 points. If he does so, in my opinion, it's going to be very inefficient. I think there are other scorers on this team who are going to have an easier, less of a path to resistance as far as beating the 76ers defense. I just think that the Sixers will be very equipped to handle Jason Tatum today. Give me under 28.5 points.
It takes a lot of to pick against a superstar in game 1 of a series. That's what Proppy does. By the way, Matt says the stash is sick.
Thank you, Matt.
Yes, thank you, Matt. All right, so Proppy is done. Buckets, well, he's really done. Now, we have one site play today, Jeff Hockman. And I'm only going to give you the pick. If you want to read the explanation, you got to go to SportsLine, which means you got to be a member. We're going to go Devils. And I believe the number is -120 on the money line. Jeff is an amazing hockey capper. By the way, Maestro, what is his latest record, please?
He's very selective and a kind of a reclusive guy. He's 33-23 in the NHL this season, up 496 or 4.96 units.
Boom. That's almost 75% when you're just talking wins and losses, too. All right. So we're going to go with the Devils -120. Maestro, thank you very much. Hang tight. So, Sia Nejad. Everybody's talking in the chat. You haven't even counted all your wins this week. You had so many wins, you couldn't even get to all of them. What do we like today?
Yeah, and the chat is referring to the head-to-head matchups from the early wedge where I hit 2 out of 3. Now, admittedly, in my top 20s, I only hit 1 out of 3, but those were all plus money. So we hit 2 out of 3 matchups. We hit 1 out of 3 top 20s. So really looking forward to the Wells Fargo show tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Well, I'm going to give the chat what they want because I know I've been on this first 5 run. And I do like a first 5 game, but I want to be very, very clear here. There is a doubleheader in the Braves-Mets game, and I am betting the second game, the one that features Charlie Morton versus Tyler McGill. I have Braves first 5 there, -122. Now, it's -122 on FanDuel. I just noticed that DraftKings opened up their lines because they didn't have first 5 when this show started. They have it at -120. So either way, you're going to get this line between -120, -125 whenever you get it. I just like the pitching matchup here. I mean, obviously, both of these teams, they didn't play over the last 2 games, so they're probably both champing at the bit to get this game done. The bats are probably fresh. By the way, it is champing at the bit, not chomping at the bit. Tuck that away. Take it with you. The proper way is champing. That's also how it's spelled. But again, this is a Morton matchup against McGill. Morton has been okay. He hasn't been great. But what I've noticed about McGill over the last 14 innings, the last 3 games he's pitched, he's starting to get touched up, which should be no surprise. 16 hits, 9 runs over the last 14 innings. I really trust this Braves lineup, the bats in particular. And I think Charlie Morton, while he's allowing some hits, he's limiting runs. And I think that veteran presence is going to serve him quite well on the second leg of this doubleheader. So give me the Braves first 5, -120.
I don't know what the odds are for a sweep today, but Strider is pitching in game 1. So I think the Braves could sweep the Mets today, by the way. Big Cheesy said, Sia classes up this crew daily. I don't know if I should take that as a shot. Buckets, you should.
I did.
There's no doubt. By the way, somebody in the chat says, Proppy, is it just me or does he have a little Iron Sheik in him today? With the mustache. Oh, and if you know, he's a huge WWE fan. So he'll take that as a compliment, no doubt about it. And by the way, Bradley says, Coach, you went 2-1 in your matchups last week. Don't shortchange yourself. Oh, did I? Did I do that on the wedge? Did I also hit +1100? Did I hit plus? I mean, I hit just about everything. So I had a good week. I don't like to tout myself. It's not really my style. All right. Now, we've reached that time in the show. And he is embracing the new hat with all the vigor that you can embrace a hat with. But Maestro, I'm looking down at my notes, and I see not one, but two big plays tonight. The floor is yours.
Starting off in the NBA, the Celtics have been money in the second quarter, 35 points a game in the second quarter in the playoffs. And during the season, they were number 2 in the league behind Sacramento. And one of the reasons is Malcolm Brogdon. He won Sixth Man of the Year, hyper efficient offensively, 15.5 points, 4 assists, leading that second unit. And the Sixers, actually, the last 3 games, only 21 points in the second quarter. And if Embiid is out like we all expect, that affects the depth. So I'm going to play the Celtics in the second quarter, laying 2.5. That comes back at minus 115 on Caesar Sports. And then in baseball out west, I'm going to lay the big number with the Dodgers, minus 160 on MGM, higher in other books already. Gonsolin, 3 1/3 scoreless in his first start this season, coming back from the ankle injury. This guy was 16-1 with a 2.14 ERA last season. The Dodgers haven't had him yet. They got their catcher back, Will Smith, over the weekend. They swept the Cardinals. The Phillies come in playing good ball, 10-4 over their last 14. But Taijuan Walker, he had to leave his start early with forearm tightness. That's not a good omen going into LA, and LA with an OPS of 798 against right-handed pitching. I'm going to play the Dodgers at home and lay the big price.
In the chat, Big Cheesy said he's going to parlay the Dodgers pick with the Astros. The Astros are home against the Giants. Maestro, would you like that?
Yeah, I mean, the Astros have a big pitching edge in that matchup with Luis Garcia on the mound. So, yeah, I don't mind that at all.
And plus, San Francisco will be traveling from Mexico to get to Houston. Houston home. They beat the Phillies last night, Sunday night baseball, 4-2. So a lot of reasons why the Astros would be a good play today. Maestro, thank you very much. By the way, Aaron wants to know, what does the hat say?
Super Bowl hat.
Oh, that's right. You got it in Phoenix. That's right. We all went over there together. They had a million different things. But CBS, they make us pay for it. They don't give us anything for free. Or do they? Use the promo code early. I'll give you 30 days for free right here, right now. For all of you in the chat that are brand new, you can try us out. All my cappers, everybody you see right here, they're on SportsLine. Articles, simulations, everything for free. Then after that, whoo, $10? $10. That's it. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of the Snake, always on the ones and the twos. Buckets, 2 big plays today. I encourage you to play 1. Leicester City, Everton, score minus 120. Then Sevilla, Girona. This will not hit. If you want to play with buckets, write buckets in the chat. If you want to roll with the coach, write coach in the chat. While you're doing that, hit the like button for me. It's embarrassing how big this show is, but I have made it too easy on you. Hit that like button for me. We're going to start taking things back. Now, Propstarz, 1 play today. Jason Tatum, under 28.5 points, minus 105. He gave you all the reasons why. Then the Maestro, 2 play. Celtics, second quarter. Yes, most books, you can go in and you can bet it by the quarter. You can do it before the game even starts at minus 115. Then the Dodgers, money line, minus 160. Now, Sia does like the other side and gave you some really good reasons why. Use the information to your advantage and do what you want. Then the Braves, first 5 for game number 2, minus 122. And then Jeff Hockman from SportsLine itself, Devils, money line, the only game tonight on the NHL schedule. Devils, money line, minus 120. Don't forget, I will be at 37,000 feet, but we never stop. That's why we've got a crew. So today, Early Edge and 5 will go on as scheduled at 4 p.m. Eastern time with Frick and Frack and all the usual suspects. So with all that being said, what a good start to your week, but it's the end of our week because this is what we do. We're changing the game. We do things differently. There's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, Lumbo, Buckets, the Counselor, Maestro, Proppy, Snake, the whole crew. We're here every single day. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's what we're all about right here at the Early Edge. Good luck.